Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder bishops, right? You bishops, you priests, you teachers, you evangelists, out there on the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And, let's go ahead and get to it. Yeah.
And join the conversation.
In recent news, a disturbing trend has surfaced: white people consuming chocolate molds shaped to resemble a black human body, sparking conversations and igniting outrage from all corners of the globe. Hello everyone, my name is Nalim Fuller, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Today, we dive deep into the currents of information, from the pulse of politics to the heartbeat of entertainment. We've got it all covered, so please stay tuned for a news experience like no other. Now, this upsetting event invites us to reckon with our shared past, our present struggles, and our vision for a more harmonious, fair future. Now, the imagery of white people eating chocolate molds resembling a black person's body can be traced back to a long historical narrative of colonialism, oppression, and the commodification of black bodies. Now, the distorted nature of this trend brings up collective memories and trauma, bringing to surface the systematic injustices that continue to impact black communities to this day.
Current culture is any indication, they want to be us. But not many of us know that white consumption of blackness is sometimes literal. White cannibals aren't a figment of our historical imagination. Europeans often ate the mummified remains of Egyptians. Researchers argued it was for a substance Egyptian embalmers used to kill bacteria. But even when the health benefits of mummies were debunked, white people continued eating flesh. During the Atlantic slave trade, whites were known to eat the bodies of Africans when supplies ran low. Though it's suspected this occurred on many occasions, there is at least one documented case of this on the slave ship Aragante.
Now, as responsible members of the society, I do think it is our shared duty to challenge the damaging stereotypes.
Yeah, so this is immersed college events, calendars, white cannibalism in the slave trade, the curious case of the schooner Aragante in 1837. So basically what she was saying, I looked it up to see what she was saying is, it says white cannibals in the slave trade, the curious case of the schooners Aragante, Monday, April 17, 2017, at 5 p.m. Lasoon Hale Hall. the Portuguese ship Aragante was captured in late November 1837 by the HMS Snake off the coast of Cape San Antonio in Cuba. At the time of her capture, the Aragante had more than 330 Africans on board, right, which were Israelites, not Africans, right, who had all been embarked at Gal Gallinus by notorious dealer Pedro Blanco, and was bound to Cuba, consigned to the house of Pedro Martinez and company. Right, let's see, and company. All of them were liberated in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where soon after they arrived, chilling, mysterious surrounding chilling, mysterious surrounding the alleged practices carried out by the captain and crew were also brought to the attention of the locals authority, according to numerous witnesses. Some members of the crew were killed. An African man cooked him, which really would be an Israelite, not an African man, Israelite, and cooked his flesh and served it to the rest of the slaves on board. Wow. It's additionally the sailors were accused of eating the heart and the liver of the murdered man. Wow. Right, so this is Ezekiel 4 and 13. And Yahweh, right, meaning all caps, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread, right? You know the the way your substance come to you, it's gonna be defiled, right? As you see that slave ship, they cooked one of their own people, which are not Africans, they're Israelites, right? They like to keep feeding you that narrative, right? And basically fed it to them. That's the foul, um, what do you call it? Nourishment. That's defiled. It's not how you're supposed to nourish your body, by eating people, right? Defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, right? These other nations, because that definitely was another nation that was, and that other nation is definitely, these other nations are our enemies and not our friends, right? Whether I will drive them, right? And technically, like, I guess you don't necessarily say you're driving a boat. You're more sailing a boat or steering a boat. But I guess you could say you're driving a boat, right? Because these boats were driven to the uttermost parts of the earth, and they were hellish conditions, right? In that voyage to get here to the place of your captivity, right? Where you will be sold for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you or redeem you, right? Then said I, out of one power, the most high, behold, my soul have not been polluted, right? Now this is Ezekiel. He's appalled at it. Like, what? You know what I mean? From my youth up, even till now, have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, right? Because that's in the law. You can't eat anything that just dies on the side of the road killed or whatever, right? Just drop dead, or it gets or torn, right? Get mauled and torn in pieces, right? You can't, you know what I mean? Get ran over by a car, and it's just on the side of the road. You're not supposed to eat that, right? Nor come there abominable flesh unto my mouth. But we see that this is different conditions this day, right? All the way from, what was it, 1837 until now. These are the conditions that you are eating. You're eating meat that is dive of itself, or that's torn in pieces, right? Eating abominable flesh, right? Eating humans. You know what I mean? Your so-called fast food restaurants, right? You're consuming possible human meat, right? Human flesh, right? Allegedly, right? Right? And this is the conditions that we're in now. Yeah, so let's continue with Ezekiel 4 and 15. And he said unto me, lo, which means look, I have given thee cow's dung meaning shit, right? For man's dung, right? So you ain't gotta eat man's dung, but you're gonna eat cow's dung, and thus shall prepare thy bread therewith, right? And a lot of times, I don't know if you've seen, because I would have never believed it until I seen it, you know. They were showing them taking a machine and just grabbing the cow while it was alive. So of course the cow is frantic, it's scared, and the cow is shitting, basically. And they just throw it in the grinder, and it's grinded up, and they mince it, grind it all up, all in together, and the machine just minces it all together. So yeah, there's definitely cow shit in there because the cow is literally shitting while it's going into the thing. I would have never believed people did that until I seen it, because I've been to farms and things, and they used to show you how they process food back when we were young, back when they would take you to school, take you to these things for a field trip. You know what I mean? So you kind of know how these things run, and even businesses and things used to go on trips to these places to make sure these places were running right. Make sure you actually had free range chickens and things. And it's crazy that they got to try to slap some label on there to say that it's free range chicken. I mean, hey, but this is the things where things are at. Your bread is definitely defiled, and then in some cases you probably are eating human or man shit too, because you know what I mean. Allegedly, right? A lot of these fast food restaurants actually have human meat. So I can only imagine if a person's scared to death out of his, you know what I mean? Literally scared to death to defecate, right? It's so scared they defecate on themselves, scared to death, right? Oh, I might as well just keep going because it's just, it says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, which means look, feast your eyes, pay attention. I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, right? And see now, well, yeah, well, see, we're coming to that time, man. Jacob's trouble, famine, right? You're gonna eat it by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure, right? And you're kind of doing it now, but it's gonna get far more worse because you got to think. But you kind of are now. Like you get these water bottles, and it's 16.9 ounces of water, and then you may have like a little small baby water joint, and it'd be a 8-ounce water, and that's by measure. That's literally, they measured it out. There's 8 ounces of water in this. There's 16 ounces in this, and then you're paying for it, right? You have to pay to drink water, or at least decent water, that you don't get sick. You could drink the water that come out the faucet and things like that, but even then, I guess you're paying for it. But it's going to be far more greater sooner, right? It says that they may. This is 17. Might as well keep going. Ezekiel 4:17. That they may want bread and water. See, it's coming to. Hey, man, it's coming time you're gonna want bread and water, and you're gonna be able to find it, right, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for their iniquity, right? So now what? You're going to be so hungry, hey, you're going to be willing to eat a person, right? Yeah, so this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. I'm going to start at 1, start at the top. Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 10 and 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right? And this place right here called America, Babylon the Great, is not well ordered, nor is any of the empires or countries, what do you call it, countries where Edomites are at, where these so-called white people are in power. Portugal, France, England, Spain, These places are not well ordered, right? Germany, right? All sorts of things and madness is going on over there, but especially America, Babylon the Great, as the judge, right? Because the elites, the so-called Illuminati, dealing with the land of Israel, or the people who who owns the international bankers, which are all somehow happen to be Jewish, right? The world bankers who run these things, right? Right, the Hollywood, right? Your entertainment system, your what is it called? The FDA, right? It's all controlled by them, right? So it says, as the judge of the people is himself. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, right? Dealing with your mayors, your governors, but then these are all things that trickle down to the average everyday citizens, right? So if these people were on this slave ship eating people then, and there were more, even when you go into the there's a lot more history on them eating slaves. You got the 100 years of lynching, right? You got the pick a nigga, right? There's plenty of times that they have eaten so-called black people, which are really Israelites, not African Americans or Africans or Negro, right? That's why they didn't even come up with there wasn't even no such thing as African. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know, because you gotta ask yourself, how did they go so long without ever calling you an African? You know what I mean? You would just call Negro. Just a Negro. For all those years. Negro, colored, never African. You gotta ask yourself that. But hey, simpletons gonna be simpletons. But hey, they were eating men there. So were the officers. So that's what that dude was doing. So was the sailors, right? The captain of the ship said, "Hey, do this. Cut them up. Feed them to the slaves. Hey, y'all can get y'all a couple pieces of the of the kidney and the lung and whatever else you want to get out of it, and chop it up and dice it, and we'll eat it." You know what I mean? But hey, we're coming to a time that these elites still do the same thing, and it's been said. Hey, like I said, allegedly, it's shipped to your fast food restaurants. So as the elites do, so do their subjects, so do the officers, so do the people, right? And what manner of man the ruler of the city, right, which Babylon is one great city, is, such are all they that dwell therein, right? It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, right? Everybody got gout, diabetes, high blood pressure, overweight, right? As if you were never going to come to a time that you were going to have to war. You were going to have to go to war with these other countries, right? And you got a lot of fat, out of shape. And even if you are in shape, people look at how you have mistreated the soldiers. They go to war, miss limbs, come back, and really have no respect from the government, right? So it's a combination of things, right? But but through the prudence of them, the prudent of them, which are in authority, the city shall be habited, right? So barely by the, barely by I say the skin of your teeth, barely by the hair on your chin, that everything is actually still in working, kind of working. You know what I mean? Right? Everything is still working. It's only because there's some people who, you got engineers and tech, you know, technicians and things and peoples and doctors, and those are the people who actually keep things kind of going. But this place is, it's falling apart all the time, right? Because of the low morale, how in debt it is, everything. So, you know. Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, right? Which that penny is a day's wage, right? So, depending on, you know, what you make, because some people don't even make that. Like, most, um, I don't even know if some people make $100 in their daily wage, but it's about $100, maybe $120, $130 day's wage. That's gonna be what it costs you to have a meal, just one meal. You know what I mean? That's not you feeding a family of four, right? Right? And 3 measures of barley for a penny, right? And barley goes into basically making your bread, right? And see, thus hurt not the oil and the wine, right? Because hey, it's about to be intense really soon, right? So if your leaders is, like I say, allegedly putting human meat at the fast food restaurants, and they're saying that they're having shortages and um, supply chain shortages and all these type of things, but yet these restaurants are still open somewhat, which they're gonna close too. And then when you didn't even have that, you're just gonna it's just gonna be all out cannibalism straight up, right? Yeah. So this is Second Ezra chapter 15, starting with verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities, right, which Babylon the Great is one great city, but there's many cities within this great city, right? Giant city, shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, right? It's going to be a lot of bombings, fires, shootings, killings, Men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity, right? It's coming to that time. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, right? In the modern day, say sword is the gun or whatever you can grab, whatever you can get your hands upon for, killing, murder, death, kill, right? Because that's what America's about, right? Right? Destroying their houses with the sword and spoiling, right? Spoiling means to take, right? Unlike how they used to teach you that kid is spoiled, he has everything. No, spoil means it's being everything is being taken from you. That's the spoils, right? The booty, the spoils, right? But I guess I get it, because if you take the spoils, what do you have? You have the spoils, so you're spoiled. I get it, but spoil actually means to be taken, to be robbed, to be taken from. It says they're goods because of the lack of what? Of bread. See, when you weighing out your bread, and your bread is for measure, your bread is for pennies, and it's being weighed out, and you got to do a day's wage for your bread. Hey man, the whole cannibalistic thing is gonna kind of sound all right, to some people, for great tribulation, right? And that's what's coming upon this earth. No, that thing right there was all for the judgment of the Israelites, but also the Lord is going to judge you. Behold, saith Yahweh, or the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, right? Which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, yeah, to turn themselves one against another, right? See, and the scripture says, as the king is, so are the officers, and then what? So are the what? Those that dwell in the land. So now what? Now you got people what? Spoiling each other, warring against each other, not having pity. And your kings are going to be doing that. So guess what? The people are going to be doing that. You're not going to regard each other. You're going to be going to war, killing each other, right? The Lord said one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Who? The Israelites, right? Because one of the things they did is they ate us. So guess what? These elites, they're going to be eating each other. They're going to be doing all sorts of different things, right? Fighting against each other. Yeah, because, all these so-called super elites, there's only going to be certain strategic elites that's going to be able to make it into those bunkers. Some of these people who think they're elite, that they think everything is all fun and games, and they're just laughing and joking, and while we're going through a lot of miserable things, and they're looking at it like, oh, we're going to make it to our bunkers. But hey, even some of you elite, some of you ones who think that you're going to make it to your bunker, the Lord is going to have it where He don't want you. He want this elite. He want that elite and you to die on this side, right? And you're gonna experience some cannibalistic things, right? Right? You're gonna experience, hey, hell on earth, right? Right? Because there's no such thing as an eternal hell, right? Hell is a condition, right? Which is a bad time, or evil time, bad time, or it's just the grave, or even in the sense of back in the day, you used to dig a pit, throw trash in it, and you burn it. Gehenna, it's trash, which that's basically what's going to happen to you. A lot of you are just trash. The earth needs a re-cleansing, so we'll burn the trash. Yahweh's going to burn the trash. Yahweh Bashem Shai, right? Lord willing, I'm with them. So that's why I said we, through faith, not jumping the gun or anything, but through faith, Lord willing. And then even if I don't be chosen, it's still us, because it's the Israelites who the Lord is bringing back, right? Right? Because from the bottom of the totem pole of an Edomite, they can say this is our world, And that's why even a homeless Edomite, dusty, and will still have nerves to come up to camp, talk crazy, call you a nigger, you know, because they know that this is their kingdom, right? So from the least to the greatest, this is their king, and it's going to be from the least to the greatest. It's going to be our kingdom, and that's why the Lord's going to and recompense in their bosom, and I will also do. Well, let me just do it again, and like as they do yet this day, right now, because they're feeding you people, and they're well allegedly, and they're killing people, and they're starting wars, and they're doing this and that, right? This day unto my chosen, right, which is Israel, dealing with the elect first at this time, right? But all of Israel should be saved. So will I do also, right? And recompense in their bosom, saith Yahweh. Bashem Yahweh Shai, power, the Most High, right? So there's no escaping, right? You are going to participate in some things, and yeah, some elites are going to make it, being inside the little things, and make it out of this. But guess what? They're going to be the first fruits of slavery, right? But to get into this right here, it says the kings, the Lord's going to turn the kings against each other. And the Lord said, as the kings are, so are the people. So you're going to be warring with World War III. There's going to be war on your streets, right? Warring with the guy and the person next door to you. For what? For the Lord said what? For the lack of bread, right? Yeah, so this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel. For Yahweh, right? And right now, the Lord's going to destroy America, because, this place, it has to be destroyed, right? The blood has defiled this land, because the Lord had originally gave this land to the northern kingdom. But the northern kingdom did not keep the law, statutes, commandments that they were supposed to. But it was sort of meant to happen that way, so that Judah and Ephraim can be oppressed together here under this devil, right? And the pretty much the same way this is talking to Israel, right? The northern kingdom. Well, in the southern kingdom technically, but I believe this was more towards the northern kingdom. But this now goes for Esau, right? Because now these things, they took up the Bible. For one, said the Bible is the book of the land, right? And another thing is you just got the children of Israel here, right? And the Lord, there's a certain aspect and a certain what do you call it? Expectations that the Lord has for the children of Israel, and you're not allowing them to live under those conditions. So it's better to take them out. It's better to destroy it, right? So that's why the Lord said for Yahweh, right? He exists. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, right? And the land that the bulk of the Israelites live at now is America. So the Lord has a controversy with this land particular, right? You got controversy with the other lands in different places too. But this is that pet peeve, the thing that you can't stop thinking about when you get your hands on that like somebody just put, I can't wait till I get my hands, and that's what the Most High Yahweh Bashim, he can't wait to get his hands on this place, especially with you Israelites, man, right? He want to get the heathen too, but it's his people that he's the most angry, because we had the law, statutes, we have all the things it was all meant for to be us. But then, hey, at the same time, the Lord is going to make it beautiful. He's going to make it kainos. He's going to refresh it, man. He's going to make it all new, baby. He's going to keep the elect, and the elect's going to bring back that seed, man, and we're going to be good. But right now, the Lord, he still has to. Okay, thank you, Lord. Okay. He's still got a controversy. Matter of fact, let me do it that way. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 25. Let's do the the New Living Translation. I like that one because basically that's what I was saying. You're garbage. You're trash, and the Lord is gonna have to burn this place up like Gehenna, right? Which is another way of saying hell, right? But it's just a pit that you burn trash in. So it says that is why Yahweh's anger burns against his people. So you got the bulk of the Israelites here in America. Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Nineveh, spiritually Assyria, right? This is a place that the Lord has to destroy. He has to destroy this place, man. Blood has defiled this land. You have sold slaves, and the Lord said that if the slaves be found in your hand, and you've done both, you've sold them here, and then guess what? When the Lord comes back, they're still going to be found in your hand. So either which way, you're done, right? So the Lord's anger, Yahweh's anger, burns against his people. And why he has raised his fists to crush them, right? So everybody wants to be an Israelite, right? Hey, you know what I'm saying? There's some things to being an Israelite, right? You want to be, I'm a child of God too. Okay, well, this is what comes with being a child of God. Well, he's angry with you. He has his fists to crush them, right? So the Most High is going to crush you, right? You ain't living right, right? Right? You're eating pork, bacon, shaving off your face. You're not. The Lord said love works no ill towards his neighbor. But it says what are you going to be doing? You're gonna be trying to kill your neighbor for the lack of what? A lack of bread, man. Shit, you know. You people don't show love to your neighbor now, let alone in that day. Like you don't have no love. It says the mountains, right? The governments tremble, right? Because the Lord calls them World War III, man. He's calling these kingdoms. What he said, the kingdom's gonna come to kingdoms and put the kingdom against another kingdom, and so are you people, man. Nation against nations, right? Nationality against nationality, kingdom against kingdom, right? Earthquakes in diverse places, man. Things gonna happen. Famines, wars, pestilence, man. And the Most High, hey, you want to be an Israelite, right? The Lord said his fists to crush them. The mountains tremble, right? These governments will tremble. And the corpse of his people, yeah, it's going to be a great killing, a great slaughtering. And the corpse of his people littered the streets like garbage, right? That's what's going to happen, a great slaughtering, man. But even then, Yahweh's anger is not satisfied. His fist is still still posed to strike. Right? You know what I mean? Hey, so it's gonna be some great slaughtering, right? Yeah, so hey, even with all that, the Lord's anger is still there, right? The Lord says the arms of the Lord is stretched out still, right? When you go into the actual KJV, it says, for Yahweh have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, right? And that land right now is America, because there is no truth, right? None of you know the truth. You don't know the true truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Or his people, right? You try to go into just a bunch of feel goods. Well, God is about love. He's about love, but the Lord is also about anger and wrath, and then he's about most of all truth, man. The God of the Bible today, if he came down from heaven, which the Most High himself ain't going to come down from heaven, which his son did, and he was a woolly haired so-called black man who you would call nigger, right? Who you would say they're nothing. They're just thugs. They're nothing. They're nobody. They're nothing people. They're just lazy, right? That's who you would call. And for you, that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see that power come, right? And show you what's up, right? The Lord do put a difference between the Egyptian and Israel. The Lord do put a difference between Israel and the Ethiopian. The Lord put a difference between us and all these people, man, and that includes you, right? You're an Edomite. The Lord said that he came out red all over like a hairy garment, and out came Jacob with his hand on his heel. The Lord put a difference between us, man. Right? So that's just it. But yeah, the Lord's angry with his people because there's no truth in the land. There's no mercy in the land. There's no knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in the land. Right? There's no knowledge of the Most High in the land. So let me go back and read this again the right proper way. Right? A controversy with the inhabitants of the land because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High power in the land. Right? So I don't, so Lord don't get angry with me. So I did it the right way. By swearing, right? And that's all people do is swear. Man, I swear to God, I swear this, I swear I ain't never did nothing wrong, right? Or you go to the court system and they tell you to swear on the Bible, right? You make oaths. They got these pacts, which most of these gangs, you get initiated, getting jumped into a gang. That's like you being sworn in. That's an oath. You get sworn in to be an officer or whatever. However these things go, these are swearing things, right? You're swearing. This is a land where you just swear. Right? You swear that I'm going to be a gangbanger. I swear I'm going to be a police officer. Those are things you're swearing. Those are oaths that you're making, man. You have no rights because you don't belong to yourself to make oaths, to swear, right? And lie, right? Because you're just lying, man, at the end of the day. And killing, right? Because that's all that's going on. Killing and stealing. What place is this at, man? Does this not happen in America? Right? And committing adultery, right? Which, because this was talking about Israel, right? We get it. This is Israel, but the bulk of Israel is weird in America, and you taught us a bunch of things that we didn't know nothing about, right? Because you go back into the 1920s, 30s, and you see how if the 40s, the 50s, you see how black people were completely totally different. Even the 60s. It was kind of the 60s was a downfall for black, but the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 40s, no, the 30s. I said the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Black people stuck together. They were really well mannered, dressed well mannered. They didn't want no problems. They didn't want no troubles. They just wanted, you know what I mean. Now they walking around with guns and AKs and Glocks with switches on it, saying anybody can get it, and mostly they doing it to their own people. But all that was still things, because real life, what do they call it, on the job training, right? All that was on the job training for this right here that's going to happen to Babylon the Great, and this thing is going to go up on a higher level, and committing adultery. And they break out, and blood touches blood. It's going to be a whole lot of murders and killing and death. And hey, when you don't pity your neighbor because you're lacking bread, oh, how much more is that on the job training that you gave these Jakes is going to come into play? They have on the job training on how to rob, how to get into your house, how to shoot you, how to break down a gun, and how to walk away with no remorse, with no pity, right? Lord said they should have no pity upon their neighbor. It says, therefore shall the land mourn. See, and that this was talking about Israel. Let's clarify. This was talking about the land of Israel, right? But now the bulk of the Israelites live here in America, right? So this land of America is going to mourn. The land mourn, and everyone that dwell therein shall languish with the what? With the beast, right? There can be no food. You may have a couple of little beasts left, a couple cows, a couple little whatever left. But even that, in that time, you ain't gonna be able. The beast needs water. The beast needs food. If you can't water your beast and feed your beast, you can't even eat the beast, right? The beast need water. So when you're lacking water, you're lacking bread, you're lacking a whole lot of things. Man, you ain't. Hey. Even the beast is languishing with the beast of the beast of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, right? The birds, you ain't gonna be able to get the birds. Hey, because the birds can't get no water. The birds are gonna fly somewhere else, higher or somewhere else where they can actually get to some water, right? Some birds are going to drop dead, but a lot of them birds that can fly higher and get to higher ground and get to better places where there is water and all that. Hey, that's where they going. Going to migrate. That's why a lot of people going to try to go to them hills, out into the mountains, because the mountains got the little waters and cliffs, and they got hidden spots where it got water, and most likely that's where a lot of the animals are going to go. If you're smart, you'll follow the animals, right? It says, yea, the fish of the sea also shall be taken away. See? And all these things, hey, you're not going to have, for lack of bread, for all these things, the things are going to be taken away. Now you're going to be in that position where you're going to be in some cannibalistic situations. Matter of fact, yeah, it says Deuteronomy 28:53, and thus shall eat the fruit of thy own body, right? And your fruit, meaning your children. So your own children, you're gonna eat, right? It's gonna get that bad, man. That's bad, right? The flesh of thy sons, and the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, right? You're gonna eat your own son. You're gonna eat your own daughter. That's how bad it's gonna get. That's how bad the cannibalism and the hunger and the things are gonna get. You're gonna be just like the kings and the rulers of this land. You're gonna turn just like them, right? Yeah, they did that to us in slavery, but yet that was for our punishment, all right? All right, shows you that this Deuteronomy, these are the curses. See, you had already ate somebody. You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing it, went right into the curses. Right on the slave ship. Right, which Yahweh, thy power has given thee in the siege and in the straitness. Right, which is a difficult time. Right, difficultness. Right, hell. Right, that's another way of saying hell. You're going to be in hell, right? In straightness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee, right? And when your neighbors come against you, right, having no pity for the lack of bread, man, you're gonna be greatly distressed, man. It's gonna be some crazy times coming up, man. Right? Yeah. So this is Leviticus 26 and 27. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 27, and if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary, right? Which is the same thing the Lord saying you have a controversy, right? You walking contrary unto me, then will I walk contrary unto you. Also in fury, right? The Lord's anger. I will even I will chasten you 7 times for your sins. See? 7 meaning completion, right? Basically perfection in a sense, you know. It's going to be a perfected, completed amount of chastisement, of just, you know, recompense, you know, punishment, right? And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. See, it's coming to a time where you're gonna end up doing the exact same things, man. Cause you're like of the you know, like your oppressor. You're of your father the devil. The self-proclaimed white man. The things, the lust and the things that he would do, the lust that you're gonna do, and you're gonna be stuck in this place, warring against your neighbor, warring against your brothers, eating your own children, eating your own neighbors, right? Going to war, right? And it says, and I will destroy your high places, right? Because, like I said, this is technically, even this verse, because this is Leviticus, this is talking to the Israelites, this is giving the law, right? The first book of the law, Leviticus, giving the law to the Israelites, but the bulk of the Israelites live in this land, so these curses have to fall on this land called America, right? Because that's where they're at. So I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, right? And America's filled with idols, because you could be any religion you want to be here. So there's plenty of idols here. And my soul shall abhor you, and the Lord basically won't have nothing to do with you. The Lord said He resists the proud, right? He's gonna walk. He's just gonna ignore the death and destruction that has to come upon you as punishment, man. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds of the earth, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball.